And welcome along and welcome back to Marwell Manor Farm, where it's day 5 of autumn. And if you're looking at the last video and going, well, it was day 3 of autumn, yes, we have skipped a day. Day 4 was horrendously wet. There was not much for us to do, so we have skipped it. As a result, as you can see at the moment, the wet crop icon is on. And if we pop over here and... okay, we don't have a Wopster. Let's pick one of those up quickly. If anybody's wondering what this is, the MT9, commonly known as the Wopster, because that's what it was known as in FS19, yeah, this is what you use it for. You bring it up, you point it at your crops, and it tells you the status of your crops. The one we're interested in at the moment, the measurement we're interested in, is this, which is the level of... the level of water in it, how wet the crop is. It's at 21% moisture at the moment. So yeah, it has to drop to 20% before it can before we can harvest. Fortunately, if we have a quick look at our weather, which is under the seasons menu, you can see in here that we've got a decent drying condition today. So I'm expecting that 1% to drop fairly quickly. In the meantime, though, we're going to move our combine about and we're going to switch tractors on here, because with a decent drying day like that, we can actually get to creating some hay. So let's do that, which is more useful for our sheep than our obviously silages. So if we can create hay, then we're going to do that. Now, I need to move these bags out of the way. We can't get past this with these there. I should be able to pick these up, I would hope. No. I cannot move them at all. I think we are actually caught on the hedge. Yeah, we are. So we're going to have to move further over to the bags, knock them over. Yeah, so we can knock them out of the way. They're not that solid. And we're just going to park our combine here until our crop dries out. There we go. Right, and stop that. And what we should be able to do is switch this tractor for our other one. Our other tractor, despite it being small, still has 205 horsepower. So, therefore, should be able to handle this trailer. Whereas this has nearly 300 horsepower, and therefore can run all of our mowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this off on field 19. We're going to set it cutting. What it will do is we'll set it with a spread. In fact, no. The mowers that come with this, the class mowers, all only have the spread setting. So yeah, we'll get this to do that, and with the spread on, with it spread, it should dry out fairly well. We need to get that working, and it's just really multitasking a bit at the moment. Having this ability and doing this should work quite well for us. So yeah, these kind of drying conditions, we might need to use a tedder. We will see how we do. We've got good drying conditions today. They may not be quite as good tomorrow. So that is the thing we need to watch at the moment. But we'll head up to the field here, get this started, and hopefully by the time we're all set up and everything, and set this off, we'll be in a position where where we can get on with cutting our oats. So we will unfold this. Yep, there we go, and switch over to our other one. And unfold that as well. There we go. We have got all of our cables and everything connected up. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit this in this corner here, and we're going to do our course generation for field 19 here. Now we really want to save this because we want the tedder or certainly the windrower. We want it to follow this same course. So starting direction is automatic. We want to do at least, I would say we want to do at least 3 headlands. Yeah, perfect. 3 headlands will do us fine. We are going to go clockwise. We're going to start on the headland passes. Headland corners, we want to go smooth because if we go any other way, that causes us problems. Working width at 10.1 meters. Yep, that is good. Working width we've got 3.1. We want it at 10.1. Generate course, and this hopefully should give us not the course I want. So we are going to go longest edge and try that. Now we kind of want it to go along like that and see how it goes. Let's see. It's going to take a little while to generate this course. There we go. All done. Now it might cause issues while driving, but to be perfectly honest, that looks fine to me. So let's get this back, and we should be, if we look here, yeah. So we'll start it just shy of the first waypoint and set it to first waypoint. Get around here. And we will set this off. So we want to get the... So what we want to do is we'll get the first mower at the first waypoint. Drive course. Down it all goes. And that should mean that the whole field gets covered. And because it's doing a nice spread, with any luck, this is going to dry out nicely as well. So we're going to leave this cutting and leave this going. And we will be back over at the combine shortly once our crop has dried out enough for us to get cutting. We've hooked up the for our small actually, what is this? This is the Arion 66 660 or 660. We've connected that up to our IT runner now, and we're back up at the field. As you can see, midday has hit, and our crop has dried out enough to get the combine to work on it. So we're going to start this up and get cutting into the field. Seeing as we've previously done the headlands, the other advantage, of course, we've got now with a couple of days dry crop or dry days. Is that we're going to be able to get this baled up as well. So we're going to be doing plenty of baling over the next couple of days. Really, really pleased as a result that we have got our setup done, or we got our bale stacker bought, because that is going to be really, really useful to us now, both for this field and of course for the hay. So there's going to be a lot of bales to get picked up. We need to also get to work on our silage clamp, because we've got that currently is very, very where it's fairly full. We're not going to be putting any more grass in it today, but what we are going to find is that we are in a position, hopefully that is all good. Don't want to do that. I want the width, which is that. We'll just double check our width is set correctly. Yes, it is. Perfect. So I do have a button on my control panel now that auto sets the width for the GPS. So that's all good. And this is a little bit wobbly, this first run, but otherwise good. So yeah, we are going to be in a position where we can quickly get all of this stuff baled up and sorted, hopefully in time, and then we're looking in a few videos time of selling off this mountain of crop we've got, which is going to be a huge amount, and hopefully is going to bring us enough money to get our new tractor. We're looking to get ourselves a Xerion in order to help out and have another large tractor on the farm. will be really, really useful to us. So, yeah, that hopefully should come off. And then we'll enter year 2 on here with a new tractor, a good setup, and hopefully the ability to do several jobs at once and not find ourselves in trouble. With any luck, we will also be able to get some contracting work done if we're lucky. So yeah, there's a fair amount of stuff to do on here that we're looking at getting through. So I am going to continue on with this this oat crop. We're getting a pretty decent yield off here. We are already a third full. So yeah, we'll get this done. We'll get our first tank, and we'll see how far we are through the field at that point, and therefore how well we are likely to do off the rest of this field. We are 80% full, and yeah, doing pretty well on here. I think 80% off what, 3.5 rows on here is pretty good. Yeah, actually that is a really decent amount. We're looking at having maybe 3 full tanks off here if we're lucky, which is exceptionally good. That is gonna be what, 36, well over 50,000 litres, which is actually pretty awesome. I'm very, very pleased with that. We're going to need to go and get this little bit here, which is going to cause havoc with the baler. Oh, except I think we managed to get on there. And then we've got this telegraph pole to contend with. So we're going to go around the telegraph pole. This is always an interesting cut, but there's not much I can do about it as it is. Yeah, we need to go round it fully in order to properly get all of this. So we'll duck back in here like so, and that is good, and back onto our line, and then we're going to take the GPS off once we're lined up. Yep, there we go. So take the GPS off, put the hired worker on, and we are going to skip across to this so that we can get this emptied. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting cut the next time, because obviously we've got to take that telegraph pole into account. And yeah, wow, that is actually already full. So that's good. Let's get this emptying. And what we'll do is we'll start the empty, get that going. We'll take the hired worker off and then reapply it. So hired worker off, restart it. And then by the time that's going, we're back in our tractor and pulling forwards. And it's actually, I think of this tractor as a small tractor. It isn't. This 660 is very much not a small tractor. It can very easily pull this trailer. It doesn't have a huge amount of trouble pushing the hook lift off. It does work. It is full. This might have a little bit of trouble, and if we had a lot of hills here, I think we would be really pushing it with this tractor and trailer setup. But as it stands, I think we're pretty good. I think we're doing okay. Right, there we go. We're at the end of the row, so we want to stop that combine before it goes any further. So turn off our hired worker. We are empty, so that's good news. Let's put our auger in and go and get this row over here. And this, if we're good, yeah, we don't have... Oh, we might have one more row to do up here. Normally, we would set the GPS while we're doing the headlands to make sure that whichever headland we're at, we're going to be, or whichever side we're starting on, We're not going to be leaving any small bits. Of course, this time we haven't done it. We've just sort of jumped into the middle of the field. And as a result, we do have this small bit down the side here. So we'll come back and get that. And then we'll do our cutting from the other side of the field. So we'll go pretty much between. We'll try and line up around about the telegraph pole. It should really have lined up so that I clip or I only had to do a minor adjustment around the telegraph pole this time rather than where we ended up, which was probably not the wisest of ways to have done this. But we're doing okay. We're tromping through this. We're getting a good amount done, and looking at our course play. 870 over in the other field. That seems to be doing a pretty good job now as well. I think that's onto the main body of the field, which is good news. We should have that cut, and with any luck, that will get dry fairly swiftly as well. Let's go and cab here, because the best way to cut a piece like this is just to go plonk it straight in the middle of your cutter. That way you know you're going to get all of it. So I've been pretty impressed by the yields of our crops here. We've got well over, I think we've got well over 100,000 litres of, yeah, we've got well over 100,000 litres of canola. In fact, nearly 200,000 litres of canola. We've currently got nearly 40,000 litres of oats off here. We already know that we have another 18,000 litres plus in our trailer, which is good news. And we'll head over here with this. So yeah, that's good news to have the amount that we've got in the tractor as well. So I want to try and go around about here-ish, I think. With any luck, we will have good spacing. I think we might be good, actually. We will see where we are with our telegraph pole up here. But in general, this looks pretty good as an in. Yeah, we're up to 18% already. We are going to get at least one more full tank off here. Maybe two. We will see how close we get to that. But yeah, we're going to have nearly 100,000 litres of wheat. 100,000 litres of oat as well. And speaking of which, that brings our crop rotation in. So this is the crop rotation I've decided to go on here, and this is where we're going to be expanding the farm as things go. So this year we've had canola and oats. Next year we're going to put oats in our big field, so we're going to have a massive field of oats, and we're going to go with corn in this field here. So we're going to get a new header for the combine this year, and then the idea is that by the end of that, we should have the money to get the sugar beet. We're going to get a new seeder with the corn as well that will also do sugar beet. And then you can see here we should get a good yield on everything as a result. So that is the plan. Is that we're looking to do it that way. Looks like we're going to have to avoid the telegraph pole on the way back this time. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, we're in a good place, really. I would be interesting to get to 4 years on this map. I don't think we're going to. I don't think this series, unfortunately, will last that long. Unless you guys keep watching, unless you guys say, you know, keep going on this farm. We want to see more of this. Yeah, as it stands at the moment, I think we might get into year 2, but we'll see where we go. But yeah, good yields and good money coming in. So really happy with that. Let's crack on. Let's see how much further we go. We are already nearly 50% full on this. So yeah, it won't be too long before we empty again, I don't think. So yeah, I will see you when we get to that point. Oh, and look, we're gonna work our way around the telegraph pole first. We actually position that pretty well on the other side. Maybe we can bring that in here. Oh, we missed a tiny bit. There we go. Right. And yeah, let's crack on, see when we're full, and go from there. Wow, that did not take much. We are, well, we're 81% full. We are only coming to the third line of this cut-in. Yeah. It does take about four and a half rows to fill this combine off this field, which is an absolutely spectacularly yield. You know, that's really, really good, and I'm impressed by how much crop we're going to have off here. This is absolutely the right combine for this field. Absolutely. Right, so what I'm going to do is, put hired worker on here. We'll switch over to this tractor. Come and pick this up because already that combine is up to 88% full. And hopefully, yeah, we're going to be able to pick this combine up before it gets full, thankfully. Although it's going to be a close one as a result. But we have plenty of time to get in here for this. We're 44%, so we got 20,000 litres off it, so we've got an extra 2,000 litres from that. And you can see that should empty pretty well now. So we'll see where we are by the end of the row. This Lexion actually empties pretty fast for a combine that has 18,000 litre capacity in its tank. I really like it as a combine. It works very, very well. There's a good reason why it is the jewel in Class's fleet. So that should do us. So we'll turn this tractor off, and then we need to come in here and stop our combine, which is yeah, now nicely empty. So it'll take a little bit more. We have. We must be about halfway through the field by now. Must be about halfway through the field by now. We're going to have a little bit of a correction at the end of the field here. Because obviously we had our previous telegraph pole to contend with. And that's got a little bit of a kink in it. But it's working well. As I said, we're looking at least, at this point, I'm very much saying we're looking at three full tanks. We're going to cut in at the end of this. We have more than 4 rows here, so we definitely have another full tank from this combine to come off this field. That is, well, that's 54,000 litres, I think. If it's 36 off 2, it's got to be 50. Yeah, it's 54,000 litres off this. Which is just humongous. That is a massive yield off here. That does take us over the 100,000 litres, of course, as well. Because as I was saying earlier, we are looking at... we've got 37,000. Okay, so we need about another 10,000 litres. Can we get that off this field? Can we break 100,000 litres on here? I think we can. I think there is the potential for that. But we'll see by the end of this. I'd be interested, well, I would say let us know in the comments what you think, but of course you guys will be able to see at the end of this video and see what happens. I would really like us to hit 100,000 litres of oats off this field. That would be exceptionally good and really, really brilliant. But we shall see how we go. We are going to cut in again. We've got plenty of space in the tank to be able to do that. And yeah, with any luck, there is 10,000 a tank and 10,000 litres in here, if we're lucky. So we're about 55% full. And the reason why I'm looking at this at the moment and why I brought us back at this point is because at this sort of fill level, we have more than enough here to empty our, or to finish our trailer off and top our trailer off so we can go and tip it. And we want to leave the hired worker running while we do that. So what I'm going to do is at the end of this road, we're going to pick up, we're going to send it into the next road, take the hired worker on that, and then the hired worker can finish off that very end bit of the field. There's 2 cuts down here by the looks of things, and that will then mean our hired worker can go on with that. We'll take this, fill this up and go and tip it, and that will finish that off. We are in a really nice place though. We're looking at yeah, so we got less than 10,000 litres available here in the trailer, and this tractor, you can see it's beginning to hit it's the peak of what it can do with this trailer, to be honest. This is why we normally pull this trailer with the other tractor, because it really is a case of trying to keep momentum with this tractor in order to keep it running with the trailer at a speed we need to. Once it gets going, it's fine. It is just getting it running in the first place. So that is good. And the other reason why I want to empty and have the hired worker going this side is because we got the telegraph pole on the other side. Right, so that is a full trailer. So we have 45,000 litres off of here. For some reason I thought this held 50,000 litres, but apparently not. So yeah, we've got I think we've got at least 3 more rows off here. That would be cracking. That would be absolutely brilliant. We are currently at about 80. I think we're about 83,000 litres. So another 17,000 litres. So another full tank, which is going to be close, and we'll break that 100,000 litre mark. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure we're going to be hitting that at this moment. 3 more rows I don't think is quite enough to get the amount that we're after, but we will see. There was still an amount in the grain tank, of course. I have no idea how much we got in there. Oh wow, we've still got 10,000 litres in the grain tank at the moment. We could very conceivably actually have another full tank off that combine yet. Which would be absolutely brilliant. Right, so tip that. Or not. Yeah, there we go. Tip that. Into there, and yeah, that takes us up another 45,000 litres. And we are then heading back up to the field, where I think we're going to pick up our combine. Where is it? Or it is coming to the end of that row. So the combine will be finished by the time we get back up there. So I'm going to head back up to the field. I'm going to get the combine cutting back in, I think. And we'll see how much these last couple of rows hold. If it's 6,000 litres, we are doing really well. Once again, we are 80% full, and we are, oh wow. So we're going to put a hired worker on here. Oh, actually, looking at that, our mower is getting close to the end as well. That is good news. But yeah, we are 80% full. Looks like we haven't kicked off the hired worker, so let's just do that. We need to disengage the GPS and then engage the hired worker. So important thing if you're using the GPS is yeah, make sure you disengage it before you try and use the hired worker, because the hired worker does not work with the GPS. Or it could be my directional settings that cause that, but it definitely seems to be that there's stuff that doesn't quite work there. The enhanced vehicle quite often does cause issues elsewhere other than where I'd expect it to. But yeah, so pretty much a full tank. Yeah, we were definitely getting there. We'll see how much we get off this load. We only have the single row to go. And that has decided not to continue to empty there. We'll let it turn. Now we do have a telegraph pole at the other end, so we've got to watch for that. And the combine does seem to want to turn in the crop, which thankfully does not destroy crop as it would if I went and did that. And as you can see, it is getting dark. It's 5:31 in game, in the autumn, in the late autumn. So yeah. Oh, and we got one tiny row left, it looks like, which is very, very odd. I don't quite know how that has happened, to be honest, because you would expect that to be to go completely with GPS and the setup. Although it's the hard worker, and the hard worker does sometimes use a slightly different width to the auto width on the GPS, so that could very, very much explain this. Well, we want this combine to be empty by the time we reach that telegraph pole, which it will be. Yeah, there we go. So we'll pull this tractor out of the way, like that, and we will head back to our combine. We will take the hired worker off and immediately restart the combine, and we are all good. Yeah, it is ever so slightly different. So I'm going to make sure that we do get all of this in. And then we can very nice and neatly head around our telegraph pole here. Like that, duck in and out. And that means that we're not making it too difficult for when we come to bale next time. Now, I have had a thought on baling. We want to get... well, actually, no, we don't need to plant this year. I was considering trying to plant our main field with oats and sort of put winter oats in. But that does open us up to losing more patches. That does cause, that does lead us to having possibly more problems. So we're not going to try and plant the field this year. What we're going to do instead is we're just going to get this baled and collected up, and we'll swap tractors to do the baling for next time, because we're going to want our other tractor there, which for some reason I've managed to drop its front weight looking at that. We're going to leave that to go and ted our other fields. So we're going to save the course that we've got on the grass at the moment, and we're going to send that tedding while we bale and collect the straw bales off here. And hopefully, first day of winter, we should then be able to row and bale our grass field, gather in that hay, and that will give us a really good foundation for our sheep. And then we're going to be, over the winter, in a great position to get some cows next year. And we're going to get a mixture of beef and dairy to continue on here and expand the farm further. But there we go. That is the end of the field. All done and dusted. So auger is out. We will turn off the thresher. Go and get this. Let's switch over and lift that up. There we go. That's better. And we're going to put some lights on because it is getting dark here. And that is a really good amount off here. We've got another 18,000. Absolutely brilliant. And we're going to just empty this out. And while we're emptying this out, we'll look at how much we've got in storage already as well. There we go. So in storage, we have 82,000. So 17,000 of this, and we will be good. We got 20. We are over the 100,000. So I'm going to stop the combine here. because that is now done and dusted, and we'll get that moved back. So stop our combine, off with the lights, and let's go tip this and finish off our 100,000 litre run here, which is just 100,000 litres of oats, nearly 200,000 litres of canola, and our 870 has finished its job as well. This has been an absolutely brilliant day on the farm. We have achieved a huge amount here. The amount of oats we're going to get off this field is going to be excellent as well next year, and the amount of bales we're going to get off there too is just going to be so good for us. I'm massively looking forward to moving that on. Bring this round here and tip this, and while this is tipping, we'll go and get our other tractor and bring that home as well. So that's tipping. This is done and dusted down the bottom of the field. I think we must have done a return to start on that. Yep. And so next time we're going to be in a position where we can get this on the baler. Although actually what we're going to do to finish off today is we're going to take this to the workshop because our tractor is very much in need of repairs. But this has worked well. This for our first year, the end of our first year harvest, we are in such a good place with this. Let's get this repaired. Repair. Yes. And we're done. So that is where we're going to leave today's video. I am very, very pleased. We have well over 100,000 litres of oats in store. We're going to be doing some sell-off in the not too distant future that will bring in a load of money for us. For now though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share, and for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.